Hello everyone, Scott Burry here. It's time for another fireside reading on a snowy day here in Ottawa. And for this reading, I've chosen a snowy scene from a book I edited, The Brisling Code by J.L. Oakley. It's set in Norway during the German occupation in World War II. I'm very proud of editing this book. Here's a scene. The little mountain village was deep in snow, but thaw was in the air. The lane running through it looked like it could turn to slush at any time. The aroma of coming spring mixed with the smell of wood smoke from the scattered village homes and the pine trees that surrounded its settlement. It made Haugland think of the trees at his family home in Oslo, now occupied by German staff. He wondered whether he'd ever see them again. Haugland took off his skis and leaned them against the store's wall. He stabbed his poles into the snow. Next to him was a large wood bin with a roof over it. In it were bags of wood and charcoal for the not generators an ordinary Norwegian lucky enough to have a car could power it with. Haugland hadn't asked Axel where he got the gas for the truck, but the resistance was always working around the Germans and the NS controls of food and fuel. Haugland stretched his shoulders and was about to settle against the wooden wall, waiting for his turn to go in, when a little brown dog with pointed ears and a stubby tail came around the back of the store. It froze, then started to bark and wag its entire body at the same time. Haugland reached down and, taking off his glove, showed it the back of his hand. "Hey, little one, come here." The dog continued to wag his tail and bark, but it came closer. Finally, it went up to Haugland's hand. Satisfied that Haugland was safe, it circled him, sniffing at Haugland's legs. Haugland wished he had something in his pockets to give him, but they were empty of any treats. The dog sat down next to him, then got up. At first, Haugland thought it was because of the cold snow, but the dog stood at attention, ears forward. From somewhere far off, Haugland heard the sound of a vehicle. As it came closer, he easily identified it, a Kubelwagen. That meant soldiers. Before he could assess how their arrival could threaten him and his friends in the store, the dog took off, barking furiously. "Damn!" Haugland crept to the edge of the land handle and watched the vehicle pull up and park. Its canvas cover limited his view of the number inside, but it could be up to 5 if 3 had squeezed into the back. The driver got out first and was immediately attacked by the dog. He kicked it away, sending it off whimpering. The rest of the helmeted soldiers got out. Haugland counted 3. They were heavily armed with rifles and pistols. Haugland supposed he shouldn't have been surprised that the last one to get out was Horst, the soldier who loved to fish. He wondered, sadly, if this was the sort of fishing he did these days. But, true to form, Horst went over to the dog to see if it was all right before joining his unit. Haugland pulled back. He looked at his skis and poles, wondering if it should take off. He expected a firefight any moment. It would be no use if he were caught. He had new identity cards and Horst might remember his old name. And he was wanted now. So what happens next? You'll have to get the book to find out. The Brisling Code by J.L. Oakley. It's a great book to read, available wherever you find good books to read. So check it out, won't you? Thanks.